Hello there, Star Wars fans. Thank you for tuning into your favorite intergalactic frequency. So, the filming for Ahsoka Season 2 is recently wrapped, and there's just so much to break down and theorize about. So today I'm going to be going over so many of these leaks and rumors from Ahsoka Season 2, as well as share some of my theories. I really hope Filoni can pull this off. I do have my doubts, but I still have some hope. And that's really just because of some of these rumors, and oh my god, it feels good to actually theorize again.
This is where the fun begins.
So, before we get into it, this is your potential spoiler warning. So firstly, the Mortis Gods are finally arriving. Yes, that's right. The Force Gods from the Clone Wars are going to be in Season 2. We got this tease at the end of Season 1 with Baylan standing on the Cliff of the Father, pointing to what seems to be the power that's calling to him. We even have concept art for Ahsoka and Sabine doing the same. Now, the degree that the gods will be in this season is still somewhat unknown. I think it's great that we're going to get this part of the lore expanded on, and that some of this season will revolve around the Mortis family. But what's truly interesting is how the father, the daughter, and the son are going to be depicted in live action. A few weeks ago, it was reported that the father has been cast. The actor's name is Sharlto Copley, and that guy's got a pretty good resume. Mostly known for his role in the movie The A-Team, the guy's got this look that I could definitely see. A little bit of makeup, a little bit of beard action. He could totally play the father. But from what is being said, it seems as if Clone Wars flashbacks might be the path Dave takes again. We had the Clone Wars flashbacks with Anakin and Ahsoka in Season 1, so I think it's safe to say we will get some sort of flashbacks yet again. Flashbacks to the moments from the Mortis arc would be amazing. Hayden Christensen as Anakin, Ariana Greenblatt as young Ahsoka, and Ewan as Obi-Wan. I do believe Ewan filmed some scenes for this season. I know he said he didn't, and he was just trying to say he was visiting his wife, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who plays Hera, but this is the same studio that kept the filming of Luke Skywalker secret for Mando Season 2, so I wouldn't be surprised. Now guys, there were also these rumors earlier in the year about Sam Witwer being casted for Season 2, but those were theorized to be about him being Starkiller, Vader's secret apprentice from The Force Unleashed. Not canon, but people do want him to join the canon. But now many are thinking that he will actually be the Son. The Son is the embodiment of the dark side of the Force itself, a force of pure evil who killed his sister, the daughter, the embodiment of the light. But don't worry, in the future, I will make a video going over the Mortis Gods in depth and the lore surrounding them. I find them so interesting, and there are so many directions we can take with them. But what makes these rumors even more juicy are the rumors about Abeloth, the mother. I discussed this a few months ago, last time I talked about the Abeloth leaks, and this has kept coming up over and over again the last few months. I will also make a deep dive on Abeloth, so stay tuned. But simply, Abeloth is the mother of the Ones. Once immortal, she lived with the father, the son, and the daughter. She took care of them and cared deeply for them. However, she was not immortal. She began to age, and she knew that she wouldn't be able to be with them forever. In a desperate attempt to remain with her family forever, she secretly performed a forbidden ritual. She drank from the font of power and bathed in the pool of knowledge. These were Force nexuses associated with the Ones. As a result, she did gain immortality, but it warped her mind, body, and soul in ways unknown to the Star Wars galaxy. She became insane and hungry for power with the goal of absolute destruction of the fabric of the galaxy as we know it. You could even say she became the total opposite of what the Father represented, which was balance. She is chaos, purely twisted in the dark, and this dichotomy is what I want to break down in another future video. How the Ones and their power play a role in the Force and the balance that George Lucas talks about. And she first appeared in the Legends novels, Fate of the Jedi series, where she is the main antagonist. She was imprisoned by the Ones a long time ago, and it may seem Peridea is where she was imprisoned. And who knows, maybe the Force nexuses are also on this planet. Based on what we can gather, this planet and galaxy are very old and deeply tied to the Force. The Night Sisters, the Purrgil, the Ones, and even the Zepho, they all have connections to Peridea. We have also heard our protagonist might venture to other planets in the system, so there's a possibility we venture to strange places that are strong in the Force, helping further expand on the history of the Force in this galaxy. What further makes me believe these rumors of Abeloth being in this season is also the fact that Dave played a role in her creation. Back when Dave was developing the Clone Wars arc, the authors of the Fate of the Jedi books were also working on something similar with Force Gods. They came to Dave and worked on this idea. So as a result, the Ones in the Clone Wars are also actually the ones from the Fate of the Jedi books. The dagger of Mortis comes up in both, and also their realm, Mortis. So Dave's probably been thinking about this for a long time. There's been a connection for years, and this can finally be the link that officially makes Abeloth canon. And personally, I think Abeloth can be a recurring threat for the Star Wars galaxy if Lucasfilm can get this right. She is that powerful. She can pretty much only be imprisoned, but at some point will break free again. So I hope she isn't killed during this season. If she is, I will honestly be pissed. She's too big of a threat to defeat in a Disney Plus show. She has so much potential. But guys, the lore connections with Abeloth is not the only news. Potential castings have been rumored, but these are very much just bouncing around the rumor mill. But the big one is actually around Natalie Portman, Padme Amidala herself. Now this would be crazy. Natalie Portman has said she would like to come back. Over the years, she's been asked this, and lately she has voiced interest in returning to the franchise. In recent interviews with Natalie, she's been a bit vague about if she's coming back as Padme. This has led to many rumors and theories around her potentially being Abeloth, but not as Abeloth straight up, but a form Abeloth takes on to deceive Anakin, or at least to mess with him. Because if it wasn't clear at the end of Season 1, Anakin is going to play a big role in Season 2. So according to so many of the leaks, what's going on with the ones in Abeloth is directly tied to him. I theorize that Anakin will be taking the role of the father. In the Clone Wars, the father asked Anakin to take his place and watch over the son and the daughter, as per his destiny as the Chosen One to bring balance to the Force. So I think he will be doing just that, and this will further fulfill his role as the Chosen One. Take that, Rey. Stupid Episode 9.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
With being the father, he probably would be very powerful. In Season 1, we saw how he could influence the world between worlds, so I'm assuming there will be a lot more of that. The ones are very tied to the world between worlds, as we could see with the Jedi Temple on Lothal in the show Rebels. The most recent leak about Anakin's new powers is also around him having a fight with Balin's skull. Now, whether it will be in the world between worlds or on Peridia is still unknown. I think that if we are in a place where Abeloth was trapped and potentially a place connected deeply to the Mortis Gods, he might be able to materialize there. Now, I don't know about you guys, I'm still not sure how I feel about this. Not sure really about it at all. Will this take away from his death and Return of the Jedi? Will this take away from the stakes of dying if you can just come back as a Force ghost and act as if you're still in the physical world? I think this is something to break down in the future, but right now, I will admit I'm skeptical on that. On top of my theory that Anakin will assume the role of the father, I also believe that Ahsoka will assume the role of the daughter, the embodiment of the light, and Balin as the son, the dark side. Now, the Ahsoka becoming the daughter theory is nothing new. I'll break down the Mortis arc from the Clone Wars in a separate video, but for now, all you need to know is that on Mortis, the daughter was murdered by her brother, but gave the rest of her life force to bring Ahsoka back to life. The first time of many that she would have died, but in universe, it seems she has a greater purpose, but in real life, it seems someone just can't seem to let her go. Dave Filoni. Sorry about that, a little tickle in my throat there. Let me just take a drink of water. Okay, but ever since that moment, she has been followed by the owl Morai, which we believe might be the spiritual representation of the daughter, or something that it has to do with watching over the daughter, the light side itself. Morai always seems to show up as a reminder that the light side's there with Ahsoka, and is there for many important moments watching over her. At the end of Season 1, Ahsoka gets the feeling that her and Sabine are exactly where they need to be. And I think it's because it will soon become her duty to stay in Peridia and become the new daughter. What further may prove my theory are the mountain statues of the Ones. We see that the head of the daughter is missing, while the father and the son are still present. And I think this is due to the daughter and her power truly being gone. I mean, it's now with Ahsoka maybe, and Ahsoka is going to be the new face of the light. Anakin will soon take the role of the father, but he just hasn't fully done so yet. Maybe the same with Balin and the son. So until they are more imbued with the power of those beings, the Ones, the statue's current faces are going to remain. Wow guys, this went longer than I originally expected when I started planning this, and there are still more rumors and leaks to discuss about the main galaxy and some more theories I have. So what I'm going to do is quickly get out a part 2 to this Ahsoka Season 2 update. There I will break down the rest of the news and give my final thoughts. But until then, that is all for today from your favorite galaxy far, far away. What do you think of these rumors so far? Do you have any hope in Filoni to pull any of this off? Do you like my theories? Let me know in the comments down below. And please, like the video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my future videos on Ahsoka and what's going on in the rest of the Star Wars galaxy. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you. Always.
Another happy landing.